have
It's just that Orlando's not old enough, the doctors only know how to fix it.
okay. Orlando, we're gonna move a couple of things up before we get to the treasurer's report. Just the agenda items that you wanted to do, but do you have other things that require a vote, but you won't be here because it's gonna take a little while.
Okay, no problem.
All right?
Thank you.
So we'll let you get that in.
Okay, we call to order a meeting of the Meadowbrook Homeowners Association. The notice was posted within the 48 hours. And we'll take a roll call. Gail Anderson. Gail Anderson. Okay, here.
Orlando Evans here.
Orlando is here. Nick is here. Bill Burston's here. All present and accounted for. Okay. Now, does anyone want to make a motion to waive the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we move on. We're going to skip a couple of things so that we can get to something Orlando wanted to talk about because he has to leave soon. And so we're going to go down to number 9. 9, 10, 11 on the agenda. Do you have a copy? Oh, okay. I'll tell you, and you can
Here,
take the
what I'll
mic.
share, it's got another one. Okay. Can I give him the mic?
Yeah, what I wanted to bring up to everyone's attention is that the pressure cleaning, I know we addressed it earlier when we first started, and I'm not quite sure how successful it was, but it seemed as if there's quite a few homes that are very dirty or even getting worse.
But you gotta turn that on.
Testing?
Yep.
There you go. All right, so as I drive through the community, I'm just noticing that a lot of the driveways are pretty dirty, and I know we attempted to get this rectified earlier, and it just seems like it's getting worse. I haven't seen any citations in terms of getting that rectified, so I just want to at least bring that to the forefront once again.
What I remember, Orlando, is we had a cleanup day in the spring, and we talked then about doing another one in the fall after the rainy season.
Okay. So in the meantime,
Well, it's just a reminder really to people to do the pressure washing.
As far as driveways, it's their own responsibility to do that, and we know that the gutters are considered the right of way and part of the common area, but we appeal to people to do it on their own. I think they can hear me. So we had 2 months set aside a year, November and I think March, or there were 2 months. We tried it last year. Some people they responded and did it. Some didn't, and I'm hoping with word of mouth people do that on their own and take care of it. Otherwise, we have the additional expense of having to clean that up.
Well, if it's their property, then we fine them, right?
Well, as far as driveways, yes, that's part of. They can
And
get a
site-
letter from the covenants committee to power wash the driveway. Now, we can't force anybody to do the gutters. It would be nice if they just do it out of the goodness of their heart, because it's better for the community and better for them. And that's about all we can do, is just keep trying. Lay guilt on everybody, maybe a little guilt will work. But other than that, it would only require, if we didn't have enough money in the funds, to have some kind of extra funding for power washing, and we're trying to avoid that.
okay.
The way things are going, we can keep our assessments for the next few years at what it is now, which is good. We're doing good, and the only way to do is save money wherever we can.
Okay.
And that's one of the ways.
So maybe.
What I was just thinking, at least a reminder, I'm not quite sure, even if to those driveways that are really bad. I noticed there's one home that recently got repainted, and, you'd think that probably, they probably at least took the initiative to at least clean the driveway after getting it painted. But just something we need to consider in the future, that probably before we approve some of these exterior enhancements, to at least probably consider looking at those particular homes and see if we can probably generate some interest into taking it a step further.
Well, before the architectural committee submits their approval for when they check out a job that was done like that, that could be another additional item they might want to, before they give the okay, to require that.
Okay.
Do you want to schedule and send out a letter about a cleanup weekend or
November?
a week,
Yeah,
or?
that's what we agreed to last year.
And we haven't set a date for it.
Yeah. Well, how about the whole month of November, anytime during
Well,
that month?
The annual meeting's on the 16th, so that,
The 9th.
I mean the 9th, okay. So can we set up something before that or after that? I mean, like a cleanup week?
Can you send a letter for the first week of November?
Well, actually, too.
Or
Well,
put a
no,
letter in with,
if you leave it at a month, at the month of November, we want everybody to do that. And then at our annual meeting, whenever there's a lot of people here, that could also be
Sure.
addressed.
Sure.
And so, to remind everybody, so,
and maybe when you send the second notice out for the elections, you could
That's
put
what I
it
was
in
just
there.
wondering, if we just put a flyer in,
Yeah.
a second notice.
yep, that's a good idea.
Okay, so make a resolution or a motion that the month of November is cleanup fix-up for a week, and ask people to power wash their,
The whole,
Week
the
or
whole
the whole
month, is that
month?
what we're talking about?
The month of November?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd like them to do it the first week, but,
So-
we'll
Yeah.
take the month.
Right.
Yeah.
so it's all set up for season, right? For the snowbirds, when they come back, it will just be shiny, right?
Got it.
I'll second that.
Okay. And now the next thing,
We have to vote.
oh, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? No. Okay. Next thing.
Okay, on the pickup trucks, just wanted to find out what kind of, rules we have on actually, if you have to park on the driveway to wash your vehicle or unload. I know we've probably talked about temporary parking and how that would work if you have to run inside a home or anything like that. What can be done to make sure that if you do exit your vehicle into a home, and let's just say you drove by and the vehicle's there, but how
What?
would one know
We-
versus
We
one who's
agreed
actually
you could
parking?
wash it in the driveway, right, and put it back. Didn't we agree to that?
Yeah, well, you weren't here the last time we had it on the thing, but we just said it's
Okay.
just common sense.
Yeah.
You need to wash it in the driveway, that's fine. You're doing something in your garage, you need to back it out for a few minutes, or something, or whatever you're
Right.
doing, and then you put it back. But I mean, to go out in the morning and say, oh yeah, well, I have to go back out at 3 o'clock, no, don't put it back in the garage.
But how does one know, let's just say you drive by, how would you know the difference?
It shows up as habitual. If somebody's
Right.
coming by, occasionally there's a pickup truck, people
Okay.
come to work, whatever. I mean, if it's all the time, then it's gonna
For the few
show
trucks that
up.
we see in the community, that's not a problem. I mean,
Okay.
it's the ones that are just defying the whole thing that,
It's like I said, when they put the sunscreen in the window, you probably know they're gonna plan to be there all day.
absolutely.
Okay.
But,
So it's just, we had said before, it's common sense, that's all. I mean, you forgot something at home, you started out, you go back in, you run in, nobody's gonna, but if somebody's habitually seeing your truck in the driveway or whatever, like, well, okay, now you're running a pattern, and that's a whole different ballgame.
Okay.
I mean, we're strictly not that bad.
does that answer your question?
Satisfied?
To a certain degree, it just, I think it all depends on, who's doing reporting and, at what point someone drives by, because let's just say, just by stroke of luck, during the weeks that you actually drive by to check, it so happens that at that particular time, because, if I go out at a particular time, come back at a certain time, pick up my kids, and I park it there and have to run out, it's gonna be the same time probably every day, and you see that could be considered habitual.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, if you go out, in other words, it's not in the garage, you just leave it. If you go out in the morning to bring them to school, then pick them up, you leave it in the driveway.